Welcome in everybody. I appreciate you listening into this video. Today, I will be breaking down how I scaled my very first B2B female closer from 3,000 followers to 25,000 followers. And alongside that, in 90 days, we took her from $0 to $200,000 per month in profit. Now, I'm excited to show you through her frameworks today, the bottlenecks that she faced, what it took to scale to over 6 figures in under 90 days. There are some prerequisites to this, and I want to classify that this client is no longer a client of mine. We left on great terms. There was no reason for us ending other than she is now great to work on her own. Like anything in life, you never want to be a mentor for life. If you're a fitness coach, you want to get them shredded, you want to get them abs. It's the same with this space. Now that we've run through some context, I'm going to be breaking down a few things about Caelah, but first I just want to explain who she is and essentially why and how our paths aligned, and it will give you some context. Caelah started with Done For You at 3,151 followers. Yes, that is correct. You do not need a lot of followers to make money. Caelah had 179 posts prior, as you can see here, and through this, after posting every single day for 8 months. Caelah, a bit of background, has scaled her B2B closing previous job in MoveWorks from 0 to 7 million, contributing to over $2.8 billion exit. It is safe to say that she has great authority in the B2B space, hence why she has done so well. She did invest previously to a personal branding and mentor, but she didn't see the progression she liked, which obviously led her to look for external factors. She didn't let her previous experience investing into someone really lower her expectation. So we crossed paths, which I'm very thankful for because she has been a great client today. I want to premise right here, team, that this is abnormal results. This is not normal. I do not want you to compare yourself to this, but the foundation stays the same. Caelah is one of the hardest, and her partner Gabe, one of the hardest working people I have ever seen in the room. They have extreme knowledge, extreme capability, and extreme network. So when all of those combined with a great personal brand, you're gonna see today how we scaled her, okay? Let's touch on the bottlenecks that she faced so you can really see and get a clear guidance on everything that she was happening and you can resonate to this. First, she was stuck at 3,000 followers. The reason for this is she had no idea how to monetize, no clear ideal client profile, so who she was speaking to. She had no idea on her unique selling proposition, what made her stand out in a saturated crowd. Now, she had no understanding of what was happening, so she was essentially posting for the sake of posting, okay? Without any clear intent. She had no defined offer. Before I met Caelah, she didn't even know you could make money online. She was earning $0 through brand deals, $0 for her own business. But like Caelah, we resonated in starting personal branding to monetize your Instagram. We didn't start Instagram to become influencers. We started to be business owners. And if that's a you, then this video is for you. Now, content was going up, but there was nowhere for the audience to convert. So when we originally started, in the first 30 days, we grew Caelah from 3,000 followers to 10,000 followers. That's how hard she grew. And I'm gonna explain what happened in that process and how that happened. Now, no personal identity. People knew she was making money. She was clearly the authority in the space, but she didn't document the journey. No one actually knew who she was. And at the end of the day, no one purchases from businesses anymore. They only purchase from the values of a business owner. And it is so important that when creating a personal brand, that personal identity comes to life. Think about it logically. The definition of a personal brand is to be looked up to. And if no one is bought into you, then of course you are not going to make sales, even if you have the best product in the world. Half my clients, 30% of this month's revenue came from referrals and built from brand authority, but brand authenticity. So people are buying into you, okay? No content structure. She was posting for the sake of posting each day, hoping every single video was going to go viral. She had no defined fulfillment. Inexperience on sales calls when it came to B2C closing, B2C. She was the best B2B closer, but still has never closed for B2C. DM setting, she had no understanding of. Client fulfillment using the brand suite method, she did not know. Mindset. She had disbelief of the service that she could provide. She didn't think it was possible, and we broke all those limiting beliefs. So, how did we help? Now, for context, me and Reed, owners and co-founders of Done For You. First of all, what happened is Caelah came to us, and like any client, we get her to fill out the creator vision. What is this and why do we do it? Simply, the creator vision outlines to me and Reed who you are, what you're about, and what you're trying to achieve. The reason why this is so important is because when you create content, you need people to know who you are. You need people to know where you've come from and where you're trying to go. What we came really clear on and what Caelah didn't have a clear understanding of, and if you don't, I highly recommend this is something that you take into consideration, is who is your ideal client? You guys are my ideal client. You are someone who wants to travel the world, make money online, live life on your own terms. And without you knowing, my content speaks directly to you. And I'm gonna get into a second how that works. But for Caelah, we need to establish who this was because she was targeting a sophisticated buyer, someone who potentially was doing quite well and wanted to land a higher tier role in tech sales, or they were just breaking into the SDR tech sales space. So she had two different ICPs, both which required certain messaging, certain DM setting, and certain packaging the way that she spoke to them. So today, again, I'm gonna break down these frameworks. If you want this full DM setting script and this creative vision script, feel free to shoot me a message on Instagram. I'm more than happy to send it to you. We got really clear on the business. Now at the start, she had no understanding about the business. She had no knowledge on how to monetize Instagram. So I built her framework for her. We came really clear on the branding kit. The colors, the tones, and the fonts create identity. It is so important that you align yourself to branding. People, again, identify you. They are simultaneously thinking to yourself, okay, I like this person's content. Do I notice it's their content before I even see their face? If you went to me and Reed's content and all our clients, you will clearly see brand identity. This is what people are buying into. This is what people are remembering. Now, what happened? From here, we originally kicked her off by getting just a simple content flow going. Caelah had no structure to her progress. She was posting, vanity metrics were happening, and nothing was actually catching. She wasn't going from the viewer to a follower. So we implemented a simple content funnel. As you can see here, each day of the week we got her posting. Now using the brand suite method, it takes our clients 30 to 45 minutes a day to edit, film, and post content, okay? So we implemented that. Now what happened here, as you can see, we had a funnel. Top of funnel. Top of funnel is reach. Middle funnel is authenticity and personal connection. Bottom funnel is proof of purpose, client testimonials. Now, as you can see here, Caelah had certain pillars, themes, and formats. Jake, what does that mean? Okay, well, let's think about it logically. Caelah is an aspiring SDR tech sales role. She was earning quite a significant salary per year. She was an authority in her space, okay? So we had to start to really break down the emotions that her ideal client was feeling on the days of the week. Why is this so important? Well, simply because you want to attract the right people, then you want to connect with the right person, and then you want to convert. That's how you take the viewer to a follower, follower to a client, okay? So as we can see here, we broke down her funnel. Top of funnel on Mondays. Why? Because people going into Mondays are lacking that standards and structure. So what would happen is, if you think about it logically, someone who wants to get to Caelah's position was going into Monday feeling unfulfilled, unsatisfied of what they were trying to achieve, potentially not getting compensated for the work that they were putting in, or wanted to elevate in their current career. So we created a top of funnel reel, 6 to 12 second type of reel that generated discipline. So this allowed her to show her standards, her values, her authenticity. This set the standards, training clips, overlay, just simple formatting. And again, I'll show you in the next section how this works. This drew the correct ICP to her page. This could be around tech sales. This could be around sport. This could be around her family, friends, whatever it is, right? Then this drew to the page. Now what happens is, top of funnel, you plan for the video to do well. What does that mean? Well, when a video does well on the algorithm, it boosts the algorithm, okay? If this reel, this 6 to 12 second or 6 to 30 second reel had high views, high engagement, it drew so much attention to her page, but it wasn't converting. And this is where she was going wrong. She had no authenticity. No one was understanding who she was. So all this mass attention was coming to your page. If you're someone right now who has over 1 million views on your profile, but you do not have over 10,000 followers, then you are facing an issue with conversion. You have no middle authenticity, no bottom funnel, no selling, okay? Last month, I generated around 1.5 million views and averaged around 12,000 followers, okay? You can do the math. Now, what happens is I drew the attention in. Through the middle funnel, I then related again to this pillar of discipline. However, this time was through regulation and reality. What does it reality like, and what is it actually a day-to-day life working in tech sales? For example, this would be a day in the life. A day in the life is amazing. This is proof of purpose. This shows what Caelah was doing on a day-to-day basis, 1, to build her business, 2, on her current situation. So we implemented a lot of day in the life content with Caelah because it sets great foundation. This highlighted, again, her values, her principles, middle funnel authenticity, her training, her traveling, her landing roles, her family, friends, etc., right? Now, what happens is we repeat the cycle, because now you've converted the viewer to a follower, okay? Now, again, you want to boost the account again, so you go top of funnel again, discipline, income. Now, this is more owning authority when you speak on income. This shows consistency, so she's a reliable source. She's an authority that people look up to based on her income. Again, the format was B-roll overlay, so this may be like a storytelling reel. Then again, middle funnel. Now this connects. So this reinforces it and this shows what the income can provide. So by landing a tech sales role, yes, you can have this life. And then this would be more middle funnel. What having a large income meant to Caelah? How did that reinforce her stability? How did she allow her to invest into properties? How does it allow her to travel the world, live financially free through tech sales, being the undercore lining feature? Again, think about the ICP. It is drawing the ICP back to the page. It is showing the authentic connection that people have with her, and they are showing because they want to get to the same situation as her. Caelah may only be 10% in the person that she's speaking to, but she's still in a desirable destination. Then of course, we sprinkle in bottom funnel. What is bottom funnel? Client testimonials, proof of purpose. Now, Caelah in this instance didn't have any clients, so she used herself. Herself is client testimonials from where she currently started to where she is now. This showed identity, okay? We didn't do any CTAs at the start simply because she didn't have the offer. Now you can see the content funnel. So Caelah woke up with intent. As you can see in this was her structure. Every single day she woke up with a purpose. Okay, so Monday, pull new people in. The emotion, set the standards. What's the format? Okay, cool. I'm gonna do some training clips today, running clips, sweating, lifting, no over talking, so no over elaborating, just trying to make it quite viral, top of funnel. Message, discipline before clarity, structure before motivation, again, aligning to her values. What's the length of the reel? And then what do and do not should she do? Do not teach, do not explain, do not mention money, okay? This is simply just to draw attention to the page, okay? Now you can see she had clear intent. She had clear structure and clear standards to follow. So every single day she woke up with clear intent. What did this then happen? As you can see, because we implemented a content strategy, we then started to implement the brand suite method. Now, this is a 3-step method. I'm going to explain how it works. First of all, you need to think of your Instagram like a business. It is essentially a landing page. When someone comes to your page, they need to be run down the funnel. So what we did with Caelah is she had no brand positioning, no brand optimization. First thing that we got her to do is page optimization. We gave her 3 pinned posts. As you can see, how we built a $3 million portfolio in 2 years in tech sales, showing authority. How AI tech sales changed my life, showing again her positioning. From zero to real net worth in 7 years, all authority pieces of posts, showing the proof of purpose from where she currently was to where she is right now. So that way, think about it, right? If I'm drawing mass attention to the page on Monday, I'm drawing extreme amounts of attention to the page. What is the first thing that they're going to click on when they tap on her page? It is the free pinned post. This outlines who she is, what she's about, what she's trying to achieve. This shows the proof of purpose. This gives her the value. This shows her what she is actually there for. Again, she had no offer yet, okay? So we started to notice this instantly. Like I said, 3,000 to 10,000 followers in the first month, okay? 30 days. In this process, of course, she started to get an immense amount of inbound leads. And I took notice of this, and I'll show you why this is super important. What then happens is we then got highlight bubbles rolling. She was inactive on the stories. Again, authenticity, people connecting to them. Think about your favorite creator. When someone comes to you as your favorite creator, what happens is you're clicking on their story instantly. You're consuming them. If you see something that's engaging, you are tapping on it. This is when she really started to thrive because I got her really active on her highlight bubbles. What happened is I implemented 3 highlight bubbles for her, 3 main ones. First one's client wins. Now, of course, she had no clients yet, so this was proof of purpose. So she just did her own wins, okay? Then we did a start here. Now, what does a start here implement? Essentially, a start here implements where she was, where she currently is, where does she want to go, okay? Now, we did start to CTA this. I'm gonna get into a second how along these lines, we did start to implement her funnel in terms of monetizing because she was getting immense amount of inbound DMs already just with the content strategy alone, okay? Now, again, she also was prominent on YouTube, so we needed to funnel attention to the YouTube, but she needed to start aligning her values as well. So I got her to show tech sales and Ironman journey. Why? Because a lot of people in tech sales are disciplined individuals. Again, so important to think of how clear the ICP is. Understanding what the emotion and what that person is. Think of it like an avatar. Most people in tech sales work from home, love to run, love to gym, love to be disciplined, okay? They have to take rigorous amounts of calls every single day. They're willing to put in the work. So what we do is we highlight the values. As you can see here, then we added a who we help eventually. Because what happened is we launched her offer. So we're gonna break down in a second how her offer went and kind of what the details were in that. But we added in a who we help. This outlines details to your clients and their traits. So she really went into depth, who I help, what I'm gonna do, and how I'm gonna help them, okay? Now, from this, we then broke down her Instagram bio. I help people increase their income in tech sales, okay? So she is either landing them a role in an SDR role or she is helping them go from the SDR role to the next stage, leveling up from a base salary of 100K to maybe 200 to $1 million plus, right? DM these sales to work with me. Work with me. We are not stating one-to-one. Why? Because we have the brand suite method, which I'm gonna break down in a second. This is to work with me, building with Gabe, showing her business partner. That is also her partner in crime. The reason why this is super important is because Gabe plays a fundamental, exact same, they are 50-50 partners in this business. So it's super important that the audience is aware of who Gabe is, how to break into tech sales. This is running straight to their YouTube channel. Again, this is a more nurturing piece of content. This is a long form piece, essentially what you're watching today. It will provide further nurturing to clients who are genuinely involved in what she's trying to achieve. This is why this is super important, okay? Now, what happened and where did we start to funnel the attention after she started to grow? Again, she started to gain traction here. So by the time she optimized everything, she was sitting around 12,000 followers, okay? Now, first one, we broke down her fulfillment. What does her fulfillment look like? We broke down the brand suite method. What the brand suite method is, it's a 3-step path. One is a lower end product, a one-off, do it yourself, learn it yourself, basically course. A middle ground, community, done with you. Essentially where you are coaching someone in a community aspect, which is a mid-tier price. I will provide course fulfillment. I will provide 1 weekly call inside a group atmosphere. And then we have the one-to-one option. This is for high leverage clients, people who are wanting to go hard, go big, or go home, okay? Now, the reason why this is so important is because what I told Caelah is she is not there to sell one offer, one subject, because again, she had multiple ICPs, and it's so important that when you jump on a sales call, you are not forcing the sale. You are guiding them in the direction that they want to go. So what we did here is we broke down delivery. Delivery includes building systems so clients get results and referral. Caelah in the tech sales space is all about trust. If someone lands a position in a certain company, that can result to another 50 referrals. And that's what happened. Streamlined so well the bottleneck, so she didn't bottleneck herself. She had insane demand, around 200 to 300 DMs every single week through inbound messages. So what we did is we made sure she didn't become the bottleneck. How? Well, I'll get to in a second. Systems in place without burning out. I wanted her to have a system in place, the brand suite method, show she was able to scale efficiency. What we then did is we implemented this system called the show don't sell, where essentially we have the 3 core pin posts again, but this is more in the reels format. First one, how I trained for my Ironmaning split, working full time. Again, day in the life. Proof of purpose, showing the concept of what she is trying to achieve. This is so important because people buy into her, okay? Her salary progression, why? For authority. Now she's an authority in the space. We're starting to monetize. She needs to show more authority, not just document the journey. Salary progression shows aspiration. It shows what is possible. It gets people very, very, very bought in to the dream, to the vision. She essentially sells the dream. From here, her my story. This is so crucial. A My Story shows the past, the present, and the future. If you do not have a My Story, comment the word script and I'll send you through the script. It is extremely important that you have a My Story. Why? Because people buy into you. And again, we aren't businesses anymore. We are buying into the values of the business owner. We implemented the show don't sell method. Show her own proof, show client wins, show her in real time. What then happened? Okay, we then got sales. We then started to implement this through DM setting. We ran a very, very simple DM funnel. What happened is she output consistently. We made the content very automated. What does that mean? She had a system and structure. Each day she had clear intent. We had someone posting trial reels for her. Again, if you want to see a video on trial reels, I'll link the other video here. Go have a look at that. But essentially we got her a VA and we got them starting to post trial reels on her account. So trial reels was funding in leads. She was essentially targeting people in trial reels. All her videos were being CTA'd, so with free resources running free lead magnets. We got her a DM setter in, a very highly trained DM setter to leverage this amount of inbound. And then what happened is she started to book in calls. So setter trained and deployed for inbound conversations. We built scripts so she feels human, not robotic. Leads qualified before hitting the sales call. What does this mean? Well, she had extreme amounts of demand. This is very, very hard to make sure that we are qualifying. So we had an extreme important place implementation set in to qualify at high demand, okay? So what does that look like? Well, essentially it's just pre-qualifying everybody before they jump on the call. What is a certain pre-qualifying question? What was their income? What were they making? What is their current position? What are their pains? What are they trying to get to, okay? Again, she had 2 ICPs, the SDR role and then that high level role wanting to go from the SDR position, which is like a baseline in tech sales for those that don't know, and then wants to get to that higher level role, right? So we had a very highly trained DM setter in, just one DM setter in. Of course, we implemented sales scripts, the back-end system for the sales. And then we started to book in calls, and we started to book in calls quite rapidly. A bottleneck that the girls face was fulfillment at the very start, just feeling comfortable on the sales calls, feeling comfortable to pitch that high-end price, but also not selling themselves short, because at the very first start, you aren't in abundance. So you're feeling that pain, you're feeling that purpose of, I want to make $1. Now, Caelah went on to do amazing things. In the first month, she did around 100K, as you can see here. Officially crossed the 100K, huge momentum in the last 2 days. Thanks for all the support today. She's now at 26,000 followers and scaling long term. This is all done through organic content, by the way, guys. We don't do a single bit of paid ads, and it's extremely important. Now, I want to break down again just one more thing before we end this. In terms of Caelah's progression, the one thing that really set Caelah apart is taking action instantly. As soon as I told Caelah what to do in terms of the content funnel and her exact strategy on how to post, as mentioned above, she took action. She didn't wait. And every time a lead or someone came in, they were further nurtured by herself jumping on the sales calls. I got Caelah to jump on the sales call originally. I don't know if she still does them to date. However, at start she did. This gained her great experience. This gained her great authority. In saying so, one of those key things that Caelah did do really well is set herself as the authority. Caelah is an authority in the space. She has essentially built up a great reputation. She went all in with us. She quit her job, making her, I don't know what the exact number is, but it was anywhere between 600K per year and $1 million per year. That's huge trust to have in someone to quit your job and go all in. But she was doing like 40K weeks. She was absolutely ripping. And so it's one of those things where, like anything in life, if you see the proof of purpose, if you see the results, it is there. Should you go all in on your personal brand? 100%. Do you need a lot of followers to make a lot of money? Definitely not. And Caelah's proof of purpose of that. Two things that Caelah did really well. Number one, set herself apart from other female tech sales in the space. There was no one doing that. She is the only female B2B tech sales teaching how to land a role in tech sales, and she's absolutely crushing it. I'm super proud. She's also very much a proactive implementer. She takes action instantly. Now guys, this is exactly how we scaled Caelah to 200K per month and 20K followers. Again, this is more on the business side. If you are guys looking to kind of scale your personal brand, you are looking to get better results, and you are wanting to see what it takes to not only earn your first $10,000 to $100,000 per month, or you are just wanting to grow and get a more system and structure behind your place, then please feel free to reach out to me. I am taking intake for Done For You currently, and I would love to have a chat to see if this is for you. If it is, feel free to book in a link below. Again, if you want any of the resources that I spoke on this call, feel free to send me a message on Instagram or comment the word script and I'll send it through. I appreciate you all watching. I hope you learned something. If you want me to improve any of the videos, please just drop a comment below. Anyways, we will chat very soon. Thank you.